Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ben 10 Podcast, the show where nobody watches because I don't have a co-host, and I can't get a co-host because nobody watches it. Today's episode is a review for Ben 10 Race Against Time. Alright. Let's go. Alright, so I just watched the opening scene of the movie. I'm not sure if I'm just going to watch every single scene and then record my thoughts on it, or if I'm naturally going to sit down and watch the whole movie, but whatever. Anyway, so let's start out with what I don't like about the movie. The fact that it's live action. I don't like it when they take cartoons and then they're like, let's make a live action movie and have terrible CGI and all that. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. What do I like about the movie so far? The part of the opening before Heat Blast showed up was pretty cool, but then Heat Blast showed up and he looks terrible. And and the music is good. For the most part, the score of the movie just kind of sounds like kind of a remix of the show, but at the same time, like some of the music also just feels like, yeah, this is too cartoony for a movie. But at the same time, I just love the music in Ben 10, so it's good. And of course, like, everybody's favorite part of the whole movie is whenever the remix of the Ben 10 theme song plays. Like, that remix is awesome. Everybody loves it. I prefer the original. I would rather listen to that, but it's a good remix. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. And also, like, why was Eon just randomly attacking the town at the beginning of the movie? Like, his plan is basically just to get Ben, turn Ben into himself, which he does at the end of the movie, and then use the hands of Armageddon. So why was he, like, blowing up cars and buildings and all that at the beginning of the movie? I guess to just get Ben's attention, but didn't really accomplish a whole lot. And yeah, just the opening scene just kind of feels like pointless filler in the movie, I guess. I don't know. It just feels like it should just be a fan-made YouTube video on YouTube. And yeah, there are a couple of live-action Ben 10 parodies that are good, but whenever your movie feels like one of those, I think you have a problem, Cartoon Network. Anyway, I guess now I'm gonna have to watch the rest of this stuff. Also, the Rust Bucket looks really cool. It's really cool how well they were able to make that look just like it does in the show with a replica. Obviously, that's where all the budget went, with just the Rust Bucket. Alright, back to the movie. Alright, I just finished watching the movie, Ben 10 Race Against Time. So earlier I said that the best part of the movie was the remix of the theme song. Well, the second part and best part of the movie is the end credits music, which they play two songs. The first one was awesome, and then the second one was also the theme song. And also, it was just like black screen, white credits. You would expect more than just that. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, this movie blows. Alright. So one good thing, I guess I'll start with good things. First good thing, the movie is short. It's not really much of a drag as I thought it would be. There is one scene I had to fast forward through, but that's it. Alright, next good thing. Like Eon's just an okay villain. I think he's fine. I never really liked him all that much. I like in this movie. I just think he's okay. In Ultimate Alien, he appears in one of the worst episodes of that show. So, eh. And then in Omniverse, I like his new voice actor in Omniverse and his redesign. I like that what Omniverse did with him, but it's not special. It wasn't special. I know a lot of people didn't like Eon. Like, there's a lot of fans of Eon, and a lot of those fans didn't like what they did with Eon in Omniverse. Eh. I don't know. I would like to talk to some of them, but I don't know. So yeah, Eon was a fine villain. He's no Darth Vader, that's for sure. But yeah. Anyway, let's get into all the bad stuff. First off, it's like it try the movie tries to connect with the show. It did at one point reference the Null Void, which I did not remember. That was a surprise. I didn't think they would mention the Null Void. I remember them mentioning Vilgax in the movie, but it didn't happen. I guess my mind replaced the scene where Ben mentions the Null Void with Ben mentioning Vilgax. I don't know. My brain's weird. It was all in my imagination. Anyway, if they ever do make another live-action Ben 10 movie, like, I really hope that they wouldn't just make another brand new villain for it and instead, like, just do Vilgax. Like, I don't care if he looks terrible or not, I just want to see what he would look like in live action. Anyway, so yeah, if Ben 10 reboot gets a movie, just make Vilgax the villain. He's the best part of the reboot anyway. I don't know. I know. Anyway, yeah. Have I started talking about the bad parts of the movie yet? I don't even know. I don't know. Yeah, all the special effects are just garbage. Like, sometimes you remember them being better, and then you watch the movie and it's like, oh no, it's way worse than what I remembered. And also, like, for some reason, they recasted all the aliens except for Wildmutt. I don't know why they didn't just keep all the voice actors from the show. It would have been awesome. Like, as much as Heat Blast looked terrible at the beginning of the movie, it would have made the movie way better if it was Steve Bloom doing Heat Blast's voice. I'm not one of those people that just, like, complains and gripes whenever, oh man, they recasted this guy I wanted. Oh no, Solo's terrible because it doesn't have Harrison Ford as Han Solo. I'm not one of those guys, but I'm just saying, like, all the actors they got to replace just sound like they're like Heat Blast's replacement voice actor does sound almost like Steve Bloom, but it's just like, well, if you're going to hire somebody to sound almost like Steve Bloom, then why don't you just get Steve Bloom? I don't know. It's weird. The most worst scene in the movie, probably the scene I fast forward through, like the end of the movie during the talent show. It's just, why? And like, I realized halfway through the movie, like, hey, why doesn't Gwen have her powers? Why doesn't she ever use her spells throughout the movie? At the end of the movie for the talent show, she uses fake show magic. Why didn't she use any of her real magic? Why wasn't that even referenced throughout the whole movie? Why? Why didn't Gwen use any spells or anything? Probably because they needed all that money for CGI Wildmutt. I don't know. Some of the props and physical effects, some of it's okay, but none of the CG is good. Just all CG, all bad. Just, none of it's good. Anyway, favorite character in the movie, that one, like, Chinese or Japanese plumber, I don't know. He was cool. I don't know. And yeah, I've already said that Eon was alright. Anyway, this movie just, I don't know. I could just nitpick it to death, but I don't know. Now, I don't know. I think I've already said enough for this movie. Just, oh, I know. I'm wasting so much time. Uh, the actor for Grandpa Max, he is playing a completely different character. I remember him being way worse in the movie. He's not like one of the worst actors ever, but he's just playing a different character. He doesn't look really like Grandpa Max. He doesn't act like him. He's just a completely different character. It's just kind of jarring. I don't know. I hope that I won't have to watch the movie again, but at the same time, someday I'm probably going to watch that pop-up trivia version and learn all the facts like Professor Paradox fought Eon and Blarg and all that. I don't know. I kind of do it. There is a couple of powers Eon used in the movie that I kind of do wish we got to see him use in the show. But I don't know. Anyway, let's get into the part where Eon activated the Omnitrix and turned Ben into himself. Let's talk about that part. Okay, so he talks about how the Omnitrix has a failsafe. No, that's my Azimuth voice. That's not a good Eon voice. I don't know. There's a failsafe in the Omnitrix. It prevents the DNA of your aliens to take over your mind. Prevents them from taking control. I'll deactivate that failsafe and allow my DNA to take over you. Like, so that implies that, like, all of the aliens inside the Omnitrix are sentient. They all have a mind of their own. Just like I did. Anyway, there's once again the return of my bad impression of Ghost Freak / Scare. I hope you like it. Oh, yes. I do. It's really hard to not just do my Starscream voice. Like, I don't know. Here's my Starscream voice for all of you Transformers fans. Oh. Alright. Anyway. Larg. Anyway, so to me, here's my Eon fan theory. Whatever, it doesn't matter. 5 years later is better than it. Anyway, here it is. Alright, so Eon was the Ben in the movie. He was that Ben. And then, later, when he was older, this is like a version of the movie where the timeline where Eon didn't travel back in time. Like, as Ben got older, he eventually unlocked it. Eventually the Chronalians I think that's what Eon species is called. They eventually invaded Earth anyway with like um I don't know. Just it wasn't Eon, just I don't know. They got to Earth and um Ben and they turned like Ben had the Omnitrix glowed yellow and scanned them, and Ben turned into Eon, and then like the Omnitrix started to malfunction or whatever, and um, the failsafe was removed, and Eon's true personality took over Ben, and then he teamed up with the Crone aliens, and then eventually the plumbers got in there and stopped them and banished them to the world that's dying or whatever. All of this is just really stupid, dumb fan theories that nobody should like. Anyway, I don't know. I just, I just like, I don't know. To me, Eon was always Ben from the beginning, and then the Omnitrix malfunctioned, turned Ben into Eon. The personality of the DNA, I guess, took over. And this is totally something that Asmith made sure to fix in the main timeline. That problem with the Omnitrix.
With, with the exception of me. Yes, I am alive, Ben.
Anyway, enough Ghost Freak talk. Ghost Freak's not in this movie. He's never mentioned. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Crazy fan theories are crazy. Anyway, I don't know. I'm already like out of things to say about this movie. I really hope that Benton Alien Swarm will be better. Um, the scene with Grey Matter is the worst, and the talent show was bad. Why didn't Gwen use her magic? They casted somebody who just wasn't Grandpa Max as Grandpa Max. That is not Max Tennyson. Now, I suppose I haven't really seen enough movies, I guess, with like bad child acting to tell the difference between good and bad child acting. I guess they were fine in the movie, just not the greatest. I don't know. They looked like, for the most part, like Ben's actor looked like Ben, and yeah, it's fine. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I guess this is the end of the podcast. I probably should watch Benton Alien Swarm and review that right now. I was thinking earlier about maybe like watching the special features for the movie and then talking about those for Benton Race Against Time. I don't feel like it now, though. Alright, guys. Here's the end of this terrible podcast. Please, somebody in the audience, become my co host. I need a co host. Please, I need a co host. Alright, guys, bye.